Hi, my name is Tanya. I'm a CPA, and I'm here to help you keep more money and pay less taxes. So, today we're going to talk about a recap of 2025. What were the big, huge tax changes that happened in 2025 that will affect you that you should know about? And what are we looking into for 2026? What kind of changes will happen for 2026 that we can look forward to? Now, I'm coming at you live from my community. I'm going to share my screen here so that you could see. It's the Write Off Club. Here it is. I'll put a link to this group in the description. It's a free community. Um, for the first probably 50 to 100 members, I'm going to keep it free. We'll see if I charge later on, but right now, I want to get you in here and we'll be talking all about write offs, all the tax write offs that you need to know about. And I've got some nice little freebies in here too. I've got the 2025 tax write off template, which has a list of over 100 write offs, a little monthly bookkeeping checklist, IRS approved business use percentage tracker, and some more little guides here. Uh, and I'll be doing the 2026 update soon because now it's around the corner, 2026. So I'll update that for 2026. This is what it looks like, the 2025 one. It's got a list of all these deductions that you can take advantage of when you're an independent contractor, 1099, small business owner. And it's very helpful and very handy. I've also got a home office section in here, so you could list out all your home office stuff. But that's what I am doing. I'm going to stop sharing real quick. And what I wanted to do was there's a newsletter that I send out, and I really summarized all those points of all the One Big Beautiful Bill Act changes in that newsletter. So I'm going to share my screen again here, and we're going to go into that uh, newsletter and go one by one about with all the tax changes. So here we go. For 2025, this year, there's going to be an extra tax deduction of $6,000 for seniors over age 65. That's going to be super helpful. That's going to help my parents out. I'm sure it'll help a lot of parents out where they're just getting Social Security or a pension, and it's fixed. Their income is fixed, and so if they have to pay taxes on their pension, because when you have Social Security income and you have other type of income, a portion of your Social Security income is taxed, which is really annoying. So this will help out to help reduce that. And a new thing that happened is car loan interest expense was a new deduction of up to $10,000 for new car purchases. Now, this is new for regular W-2 employees, but if you're a business owner, you are always allowed to take a deduction for your interest expense on your car loan. If you go to the spreadsheet here, I've got a section for the auto deduction. Here it is. Now, whether you choose to do the mileage deduction or the actual expenses method, there's two types. You were able to write off your interest expense if you have a car. And it doesn't have to be a new car, it could be a used car. So, just so you know, as a 1099 side hustler, business owner, you get to take this deduction. All right. What else is here? No tax on tips. This is a nice one. And this is good for employees and independent contractors. And I have a little spreadsheet over here to kind of walk you through what this actually looks like when you look at the numbers, because it's kind of confusing. You're thinking, "Oh, cool, I'm going to not pay any taxes if if most of my 1099 income is tips." Not so fast. Not that easy. So, here's an example. Let's say you've got business income of 50,000. You've got business expenses of 35,000. Well, what's left over, your business profit is 15,000. You can't take the full $25,000 of the no tax on tips deduction because it's limited to your business profit. And on top of that, you've got business profit. You still have to pay self-employment taxes on this income. So you're going to pay, around $2,000 on of self-employment taxes. What it's going to help you with is your ordinary income tax. So those tax brackets, when you Google the what are the tax brackets, and it's lumped into the different 10%, all the different percentages. Well, that's what you're not going to pay. So in this scenario, if you had business profit of 15,000, you pay self-employment taxes. Well, you can take $15,000 of the tips deduction. And so now you have zero taxable income and you pay zero taxes on this. That's how the no tax on tips works for independent contractors. Now, here's another thing that really, really sucks is that let's say your business income is 50,000, but let's say you had enough business expenses that just wiped it all out. So you have zero business profit. Well, you can't take any of the deductions because you have no profit left. Even though there's some tip income in here, if you have zero profit, the rule says you can't take anything because you're not paying any taxes anyways. So it can't go into like a negative. So that's how that works. The no tax on tips. I just wanted to review that for independent contractors because it can be a little confusing. Now there's no tax on overtime up to $12,500. Your employer will have to give you a report because it's not going to show up on your W-2, your overtime. It's going to show up on your last paycheck stub of the year. So you need to make sure you figure out what this number is for you. Child tax credit for children less than 17 years old increases from $2,000 to $2,200. That's really nice. And a big one is the state and local tax deduction is increased to $40,000. It was limited to $10,000 for 2024. Now it's $40,000. This is for people who take the itemized deductions, Schedule A. Schedule A, I've got my notes here. Let's go here. Schedule A. Can we see a form? Oh, look, here's a 2025 one. Let's just look at it. Okay. This is your itemized deductions form. This section right here, let me increase this. See, SALT, state and local tax. This used to be limited to $10,000. Well, now you can put your state income taxes that you paid for the year, your real estate taxes, which is property taxes, your personal property taxes, which is mostly like DMV fees for your car. If you own a boat, there's property taxes on that. You can put all three of these on here and it could be up to 40,000. And now you get 40,000. Now there's limits. If you make too much money, you don't get any of this, which also sucks. But at least for most people, this is going to be really helpful because a lot of people pay a lot of income taxes, state income taxes in California, New York. California people are going to love it. This is going to be great. So these were kind of the major things that affect your personal taxes. And here are the income limits. So for the 6K senior tax deduction, if you make over 75,000, it's gone. You don't get it. For the 10K auto loan interest, if you make over 100,000, you don't get it. But remember, if you're a business owner, you get it no matter what. There's no limit in your income. The no tax on tips and overtime, you can't make over 150,000. It starts to phase out and you lose it. The child tax credit also starts to phase out after 200,000. if you make $200,000. And if it's married filing joint, it's 200,000. So these are all kind of single. If you're like a single person, if you're married, just double it. The only one you can't double is this one. The SALT deduction, which is this section right here. It's if you make more than 500,000, it starts to get limited. But it's 500,000 for married filing joint and single people. But if you're married filing separate, it starts to cut off at 250,000. I don't know why, but they punish you for being married and filing separately. It's like the worst tax brackets. I don't understand. Anyways, now for businesses, the two major ones were this QBI deduction, which is kind of in the background. So if you have like an S corp or an LLC partnership or a sole proprietorship where you have profit, you got a 20% tax deduction on the profit. So whatever your net income is, you get 20% of that. So if your net income is 15,000, you get 20% of that as an extra bonus tax deduction. So that's pretty nice. That's the same. It didn't change, but I guess it's staying because it was supposed to go away, but now it's staying. Bonus depreciation is 100%. It's up. It was going to go down to 40%, and now it's back up to 100%. This is awesome. Now, here are the types of equipment and material machinery that you could take this bonus depreciation on. Now, it's cars, it's boats, private jets, office equipment, computers. This is kind of considered 5-year, which is so interesting that they would do 5-year on like these, like a private jet and a boat and cars, because they last longer than 5 years. Computers are the ones that last like way less. 7-year is furniture and fixtures. So if you need to buy like office furniture for your office, you can 100% bonus depreciate that away. Even if you have to fix up your office, if you put like shelving or like this building improvements, construction costs, that's a 15-year type of asset. If you do like a little bit of improvements, like a little bit of construction in your home, then and it's part of your office, that's 100% bonus depreciation. You can take it 100%. That is awesome. So that was the personal highlights with the income limits here and the business deductions. Now we move on to what's happening next year in 2026. Well, everyone is going to be allowed to take the charitable contributions deduction of up to $1,000 single, $2,000 married. Before this, in 2025, this current year, the only way you can deduct gifts to charity, like donations, is if you do your itemized Schedule A. And the only way to do your itemized Schedule A is to make it be more than your standard deduction. And the standard deduction for 2025 is $15,750. So you have to have more than $15,750 of itemized deductions in order for you to even consider taking your itemized deductions. So a lot of people don't have enough to go over the standard deduction, so they lose this. They don't get to deduct their contributions. But starting 2026, you will be able to, at least up to the 1,000 for single people and 2,000 for married. So that's really nice. Now they're changing the rule for who needs to file 1099s. Right now, it's payments that go over $600. So for 2025, if you get paid more than $600, you're supposed to get 1099. If you pay somebody to help you and you pay them more than $600, then you need to 1099 them, and you need to do it by January 31st. Like everyone should get their tax documents by January 31st. So that's going to change for next year. 2026, it's going to change to payments that go over $2,000. So let's say, you pay a contractor $1,800. Don't worry about 1099ing them. You don't have to. And if you get paid less than $200, 2,000 from somebody, they don't need to 1099 you. So that's really nice. Because if you don't get 1099'd, then the IRS doesn't know that you got paid. Okay. Um, Child and dependent care tax credit will be 50% of the qualified allowed of 3,000 per dependent. So this will help out if you pay for childcare or you pay somebody to take care of one of your dependents. It doesn't have to be your own child. It could be a dependent of yours. And a parent can be your dependent. But it looks like it's the percentage starts to decrease if you make more than 15,000, which is again super lame. Very lame. But it's there. You do get a credit, you know. The most I think you can get is 20%. And the most that you're allowed to kind of report per child is 3,000. So even if you pay childcare, even if you pay $15,000 of childcare for one child, you only get to count 3,000 of it on your tax return to get a credit. But it's there. So yeah, these were the little highlights. I just wanted to kind of go in here and review them for you. I'm going to be posting them in my community. I'm posting this video in my community. I just kind of wanted to do a pop-up. I'll be doing monthly live office hours, and I already did mine for December, but I just wanted to kind of jump in and give you this little reminder of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act rules for the taxes and what's coming up for 2026. And if you're interested, join my community. I'll put the link in the description. And if you want to get my spreadsheet, you can also go to the link in my bio. And I've got some freebies here, and you can get the 2025 spreadsheet here for $47, or you can get it for free in my community because I'm offering it here in my classroom. Uh, so that's one thing you can do. Oh, look, we got a member. We got a member. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and get back in here to see you guys. Here you are. Okay, great. Well, I hope that this was helpful. Have a great holiday season. The rest of your 2025, we're, counting down to the new year. And I will see you soon on the next video. Okay, bye.